Came up with a great tip of the week here, and we do see it a lot in the support center as well. And when people are checking out our demo sites, they're wondering which theme they should include on their site, what type of homepage they should have. So we decided to focus on 5 ways to refocus your homepage to engage your website visitors. And really, it depends on the market you're serving, the type of content you're publishing and creating on your website, but we wanted to maybe help stimulate some ideas, and maybe we could revisit, you could revisit your approach to how you've set up your homepage after taking a look at some of these homepage examples. So the first question is, what should your homepage, your homepage hero do? And if you don't know what the homepage hero is, it's basically the first fold. And let me go to a site. So the homepage hero in online marketing terms, it's this first area here that you see before you have to do any scrolling. So if we look at these different examples here real quick, this is the homepage hero here. This is the homepage hero here, and I think we all get the idea. It's basically the first thing you see without needing to scroll down on your homepage, and it's the most important because it's your first welcome hello to the website visitors, and the most important thing is to connect with them instantly and immediately. So a few things you want your homepage hero to do is, 1, connect with the interests of your visitors. And what I'm referring to there are emotional interests. I see a lot of people share their sites in the Facebook group, and their homepage hero title, the main title, it says, search for doctors or search for pet services. What we should be doing is finding a title that touches on the emotional problem or needs of the potential visitor. Tired of, searching the internet, find trusted doctors to help you quick, or something to that effect, where it's not just search the directory, it's a reason and mission and purpose of why your website exists in the first place, which should be to solve the interests and problems of your potential website visitors. Number 2, your homepage hero, whether it's a search module or a link to a page, it should showcase and connect to the strongest content and resources of your site. So you don't want to have a search module when you don't really have any members listed on your site, because it's just going to result in an empty search results page, especially when you're starting out. And again, strongest content also correlates to the interests of your visitors. So your strongest content may not be your membership directory. It may be your amazing blog and the content that you're publishing. In Bernie's case, his deals and prize website, it's probably finding deals and prizes, not necessarily the member directory. So again, you want to showcase your strongest and most valuable resources to your website visitors. Number 3 is you want to encourage visitors to click and explore more on your website. So a good homepage hero has a clear title, has a nice graphic, a nice high quality image, and also a clear call to action. You don't want to offer too many places for people to click, or if you're trying to funnel people down a certain path, you don't want to confuse them with contradictory areas to click, and you don't want users to potentially freeze and leave your website. Not that having a lot of links is a bad thing, but they should be well organized, and it should be easy to navigate going to certain areas of your site. And lastly, it's to establish credibility. Again, it's the first thing, it's the first impact, visual impact, and intellectual impact, because they're reading the words on your site that you have with website visitors. So using high quality images, touching on emotional needs and problems of the potential visitor helps you establish credibility and increases the chances of that website visitor clicking into more pages past your homepage. And all of this eventually it results and leads to more engagement and more subscribers, more member signups, etc., etc. So Dave, this is the basic search module that is perfectly fine for most sites, but when is it good to use a search module with input fields like this on a homepage?
Well, it depends what kind of content you have and how much of that content you have. So for this specific search module, typically what I think is probably the best sort of search modules, ones where you give the website visitors a clear path to follow. So one like this with an open search term, that may be a little difficult for the website visitor to end up getting search results on your site, because they may not necessarily be searching for the exact right thing that you have a lot of content for. So instead, you may want to provide them with a search module that has the ability for them to choose a category or strictly a location. Ultimately, whatever best fits the content on your site. But in terms of content specifically, this could be for searching members if you have maybe a business directory. It could be for searching real estate properties, classified ads. Classified ads would be a good one to use categories with instead of maybe an open search term.
And one thing about this, the tip about limiting the search fields, again, this is especially if you're just starting out. Chances are you don't have a lot of members in different locations. So you might just want to start with a category dropdown and make it really simple, and also start with a limited number of categories. I don't see a benefit of adding hundreds of categories to your site, because you're just making more work for yourself having to fill those categories with members. So a lot of pages on your site are going to remain empty. Whereas if you hyper-focused with maybe 5 or 10 or maybe even up to 20 categories, not only can you manually add members into those categories to get things started, um, but it's going to be easier for someone to potentially find what they're looking for. And it also sharpens the focus of your site to potential visitors, so they know exactly what they can find on your site. So again, less is more in a case like this. Now, another option you have is to use a lead capture form on your homepage. And let me just quickly go to the example we have here on our demo site. You can always go to demobootstrap.com, and if you go to try new theme up here, this one is the lead capture theme right down here, and you can toggle on over there. So I think this is a fantastic theme. What's really critical about using a capture form on your homepage is a couple things. One is I would recommend using a high quality image on your site. You can find free stock photos or paid photos around the internet. Another thing about photos, just a side note, make sure you're not covering people's faces and smiles with text and forms. We see it far too often. There are images where the subject of the image, for example, this guy right here, he's on the left or on the right, and that allows you, then there's a void on the other side of the image that allows you to put text, a form like this, and it creates a much better presentation when you come to the site. It looks more deliberate, more planned, and more designed, and you don't need to be a designer. You just have to choose the right type of photo for the section that it's filling. So what's really nice about a lead capture form, let's go here, when you want to use a lead capture form, if in fact that is your business model to capture leads, maybe you're capturing them for yourself, maybe you capture leads from the website visitors and then you distribute them to members in your database. Also, if you don't have a lot of members on your site, maybe you want to start with the lead capture form, so at least you can get the ball rolling with serving visitors with something useful. You'll at least be collecting some email addresses, and maybe the few members that you have on your site, you can shower them with all the leads you're getting as you build up the member database in the meantime. So yeah, if you don't have many members to search, maybe you want to opt for the lead capture form, because certainly a site like this looks professional. There aren't too many links here. How it works, that could be our mission. And this could work for basically any type of industry, any type of service professional. It could be legal, medical, general contractors, construction, pets, basically anything, as long as the messaging is clear. And then another tip, and this goes back to the same one as number one, is you want to use shorter forms. You can totally customize what we call this get matched form, this lead capture form. But if you're a website visitor, I would focus more on a stronger title and what they're going to get, the benefit for filling out this form, and try to keep the form fields relatively brief and short. You don't want to add too much here. I think there's something called form fatigue, and when there's too many input fields to complete, the website visitor may abandon the form, and that's going to reduce the number of conversions from a page like this. And let me take one step back. Let me show you guys how you can add the lead form to your homepage here. Bernie, I'm not going to change anything on your site. I'm just going to head on over to your design settings and show a setting here. So if you want the lead form on your homepage there, go to your design settings, homepage layout, and then it would be the homepage search settings. And under search type, if you scroll down, actually the last option here is show lead form, and then you can align it on the left, right, or center. Again, if you align it left, right, or center, make sure that it's accompanying, not competing with the background image that you select. So here it is here under the search type, show lead form. All right, the third type are the navigation buttons. And David, you've mentioned that sometimes you like to use 2 buttons or sometimes a single button depending on the site.
Yeah, so we're using it on the classifieds theme and the classifieds demo. As you can see in the image, one button is to go straight ahead and to post a new ad. The other one is to actually dive in to see what products or items are being listed on the site. So this serves 2 different audiences. One, it serves for people who actually want to post their items as classified ads. And the other audience is people who don't necessarily want to sell anything, but who actually want to purchase items. So that's one example of serving 2 different audiences. You can mix it in with a lead gen website where one button can be request a quote and the other one could be search local professionals or something like that. So you're giving the same audience 2 different options. They can either submit a quote request right away and you or the website would then match that person with qualified professionals listed in your directory, or if they don't want to do that, they can themselves dive into your directory, see who they think would best fit what it is they're looking for, and then they themselves can reach out to the professionals listed in the directory. So this can be used in quite a few different ways.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is you can choose where you want the buttons to go. I think we're also using it in the interior design demo example here. So there's 2 buttons here, join our design network, and then get free quotes from designers. So one of them is geared towards the professional, one of them is geared towards the end user of the site. And again, it might not be even related to signing up or searching. It could be to take people to like blog posts or another section of your site. Again, that you want to focus on the strongest resources of your site, and these are just different ways to navigate potential website visitors to give them a good experience. Again, the goal here is they don't leave your site, you give them something to click on.
What you could also use it for, going back and tying in the members only content add-on, typically, unless you're making like a company intranet or something real private like that, you don't necessarily want to lock down your entire site with the members only content. But if you are doing that, you can use this homepage module and have 2 options, one to log in to access the site and then one to register to then access the site.
Exactly, 2 different calls to action, and in some cases, similar to how we edited the buttons, how Rick showed us, changing it from 2 login button links on that menu, changing it to 1. This also uses the logic from the Bootstrap classes 1 through 12. So you could just make one all the way 12 rather than 6 and 6. So it's really easy to modify these buttons. Now let me show you guys if you wanted to use these buttons on your homepage where you can find it. It's in the same place as the lead form. But what's nice about this is we do provide you with some little assistance to get it styled the way that you want it. So head on over to your design settings. Under homepage layout, same place, homepage search settings. And in this case, we want to do, it's also towards the bottom, hero message with links. So we already talked about what the hero homepage is. So you're going to have a hero title message and links. And when you select this option, this box displays. So let me just change it. You'll see it go away. All right, so that box went away. Let me switch it back. Hero message with link, and now it's here. So we do have a link here, button example code, and we do show you how to achieve a single button like this, or how to achieve two buttons similar to this. So you can follow this documentation, and it does provide a helping hand to help you achieve a single button or double button on your home page there. All right, this one also includes a button, but it utilizes like a two-column system on your site. And what's really nice about this is it's nice if you want to highlight something specific on your website. Maybe it's just a promo that you're running. Let me take you to the online products catalog theme. So this is our products catalog demo. And we've created this homepage here just with the design settings. We have the main title on the left. We have the secondary title on the right, and then we've included a button here. So you can actually, let me show you how you can recreate this. Let me go into, I just logged into the products catalog demo here. And let's see what they're showing here. They're showcasing their pillow collection in this case. So again, just like our classifieds theme, we could have had the search module there. We could have had the search for classifieds where you put a keyword and all that good stuff, but we're choosing, depending on the stage that your site is in right now, to use navigation buttons to create a better user experience. In this case, they might be having a holiday special on pillows, or they just released something, but it has a really good impression and really shows potential visitors that your company and your website has a pulse when you're doing something specific like this on your homepage. So let's just see here. Yeah, you can direct users to stronger sections of your site, and obviously there's a clear call to action here. We want them to click on Browse Pillow Collection. So let's show you how we achieve that. And if you see something on any one of our demo sites, you can always log into the admin area of the demo and kind of click around to see what's going on there. So in this case, I'm in the products catalog demo, and I'll head on over to design settings. And same place, we're focusing on the homepage layout and the homepage search settings. Okay, so if you want to achieve that, this is just a little specific what you need to do here. The search type you want to use is hide search module. So there's no search module. It's basically focusing on the title text and the subtitle text here. So hide search module. Number two, to get that two-column layout, the main title width, set it to 6. Just like we talked about before, it's going to use 50% of the page for the main title and then the other 50% for the subtitle text. So they're going to be side by side, one on the left and one on the right, because 6 columns and 6 columns adds up to 12. So very simply, we have our main title text here, and then the subtitle text. We have it here with the button code. So we have the message here, and then the button code, and you can also get that same button code from that documentation link that I shared. You can just kind of copy it there. It explains what to input here, and here we can see Browse Pillow Collection. So just a little bit of coding here. You can definitely figure out what you need to do, but that will help you achieve a look similar to this. And obviously when you use a large amount of padding on the top and the bottom, it does, and with a nice high quality image, and notice we're not covering anyone's faces or smiles or eyes. It's just a scenery picture of a backyard with a pool. You can definitely create a very dramatic effect on your homepage without having a search module there. All right, and there's one more that we want to share. It's kind of similar to this one, but this one actually has a different purpose. You could potentially link to a sponsored post. And let me first show you what I'm referring to before I go through these points. And I'm in love with this new concept here. This always existed. I just hadn't seen it before. But we can look here. This is a kind of like a magazine style website. Their main focus are their blog articles. They do have a section to find professional members, but they're focusing on articles here. And what they've done is there isn't a search, there isn't a link to a search results page or a sign up page. They are linking to a specific post, this article on the SoulCycle CEO. And let me show you exactly how they achieve this. Give me one moment. And what this is good for, and what it's really great at, if your website is content driven, whether it's events or blog posts or even deals and prizes like Bernie's site, you can really give specific attention to one single post, and it really sets the tone for the rest of your site, especially if you have other calls to action on your internal pages, such as your sidebar or your header, or in the footer area, if you have other calls to action to keep people clicking. And also you'd want to use this if maybe the member directory is secondary, so maybe other content is more important on your site. Again, like events, articles, coupons, job listings, property listings, and the member directory is secondary. You can showcase your best content or your freshest content, so people will want to come back to your site daily or weekly, however often you want to update this. You can instantly engage your visitors by posting a compelling article there that you know your website visitors and subscribers would be interested in. There's obviously a clear call to action, so that your chances of getting a click to an internal page dramatically increase, and again, you're driving traffic to a specific page. Now also keep in mind, this could be a sponsored area that you sell to a potential advertiser or someone that wants for you to link directly to their article. You can obviously sell this real estate on your site using the Sell Digital Downloads add-on. So let's go back and see exactly how this was achieved on this site. So let's take a look at it one more time. So again, they're using an image on the site, and again, I gotta say it because I see it every day. They're not covering the eyes, face, nose, or smile of the subject of the photo. They're utilizing the void on the left in this case as the area for the text. Now, let me show you guys something else before I show you how this was created. Brilliant Directories platform is smart enough that when it goes into mobile view, that it's going to keep the text on the side of the image that has the void. You're not going to see the whole image, and that's on purpose because, one, it's a rectangle image, horizontal, and when you're on mobile, you're looking more vertical. So unless you wanted an empty area, it's impossible to see the other side. So what the system does is it knows the area that the text should be behind, and it maintains those perspectives and ratios. So the text will always have the correct contrasting color behind it. We obviously wouldn't want this white text over this on the white with white background here. All right, so how do we achieve this? Very similar to the products. Let me go to design settings. And again, homepage layout, homepage search settings. And again, the search type here, important, the hide search module. So we're just focusing on displaying text here. In this case, the main title width is 7. So it's not 6 and 6, they're not 50-50, it's 7. So the second part is being pushed to the next line underneath the main title. So make sure that this is 7 or larger than 6 at least. And then similar to the products, we have the code here. We have the main title, and then we have our subtext, and then the link here. Let me just spread it out so everyone can see here. I'll even copy this code here for the subtitle text, so you can play around with it if you want to utilize this on your site. I'll just paste it into the chat there.
I think the main key with this hero option is that that button can link to any page on your website. It doesn't need to necessarily be a static page or a single piece of content. A quick example, going back to the products theme, if you have a product site and maybe you just released a new category of products on your site, you can kind of make a little announcement in this hero area saying, hey, we now have these products on the site, click here to check them out, and then that button would link to the search results page for the products in that new specific category.
That's a really good point. Or even if you're running a contest for that month and you want to get people to apply or whatever it might be, whatever action you most desire in that state wherever the stage is that your website's at. Yeah, I agree with you. This button can come in very handy as opposed to using a search module.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, great, great. So good stuff there. A lot of examples there, just kind of using the design settings, the homepage design settings.